everybody. Welcome back to Buff Games of Buff. And we are going to take a look at some gameplay that I recorded today with the WZ-121FT, the Tier 8 Chinese premium tank destroyer. It's one of my favorites. And this one's a bit of a nail biter. It doesn't look like it's going to be that way. But yeah, it was a fun game to play. Yeah, pretty interesting. So stick with me. This one's a little long, but it is well worth it to stick around, and we'll see how we do. So, as I said before, this is one of my favorite TDs to play. Nice strong gun, good penetration. The armor, as you can see, is fairly well sloped. I mean, this looks a lot like a WZ-122, a Tier 7, the Tier 7 premium Soviet tank destroyer, but buffed up to be a Tier 8. So the gun itself has a 248 penetration with 440 damage on standard rounds, which is plenty even when you're facing most Tier 9 and Tier 10 tanks. As you can see, good mobility and just a good solid all-around non-turreted TD, but it is non-turreted, and that does become important later on, as you will see. So right now, I'm going to move over to what is a very normal position for TDs to go to along that 9 line to back up our scouts. We have the EBR Hotchkiss and the UDES 14.5 rolling up to that big old hill at D9 and D0, kind of E0 area. And so what I'm trying to do is get in position to be able to back them up and let this cannon sing. So I also have binos equipped, rammer, and gun lane drive. So this is very much a classic Soviet Chinese gun on this thing. Like I said, very punchy, good penetration. For the base values, but that accuracy is very trolly. Once again, as you will see coming up here. Right, so right now, you can see me hide in the bushes here. And I'm not double bushing or anything, but it did knock down the tree to provide some additional cover. We're in a pretty good position. So right now I'm taking a look. Let's see if we get this Progetto or the SU-130 PM to poke and get some shots on them. So, both very dangerous vehicles, especially this tier and full tier 8 matchmaking. You have the auto reloader and the Progetto, and the SU-130 is a bit like a Soviet Scorpion, better camo, slightly worse gun handling in DPM, but still very dangerous. So it would be ideal if we could knock those guys out. So not much is happening. You can see where we were down 2 tanks, right? We just lost our T-342G FT, which is the Tier 7 tank destroyer, non-premium Chinese tank destroyer, as well as our AMX over there in the city. So we have a push going in the city, so I decide, you know what, I'm going to move up to the hill, because they're not pushing up aggressively here, and I'm going to attempt to support the folks over in the city. You can also see, right here, our Crusader SP artillery is doing his own thing, so well out of position. But you know what? Teach their own. So we're going to zoom in here and take a look and see what we can get. So as you can see, we have the side of the KV-4. We get a good hit, as well as the T-26E5. And so they're busy focusing on our Tiger 2 and Tiger 1s, respectively. So I put another shot into the T-26E5. So right now we're in a pretty good position. We have about a little over 800 damage. Killing shot. So the gun's behaving. You can see where that round went a little low, almost hit the wall. Right, so now we're focusing on this KV-4, who unfortunately takes out our IS. Now what I do notice is I'm thinking the Tiger 2 and the Tiger 1 have got this guy, right? So I'm going to push up. KV-4 destroys our Tiger 2. And now I'm trying to peek. So I fire one there, trying to preemptively get him. Obviously that misses, smacks into the wall. So this is a pretty dodgy shot, even with a good gun. And this is not Sniper Schnitzel. Fire again. And miss. So I've got a green pin marker on the rear end of his tank. And desperately trying to get a shot to stick. And as you can see, the last 3 shots have hit the wall. So do you remember what I was saying earlier about the gun being kind of trolly? There you go. Try to put another shot through there, hit the gap. Hits the wall again. So 4 shots into the wall. He decides to bugger off. So do I. reposition, thinking that maybe I can get him as he comes across in the city there, as he pushes forward. But our WZ-131 decides that he's going to retreat back north towards our flag. Now at this point in the game, I'm pretty frustrated, right? We have the Progetto 46, which is super dangerous, engaging the UDES. And the UDES is also getting hit by some tanks hidden in the wood line here. Artillery fires and misses. So I've got this KV-4 over here. And you can see me kind of going back and forth, trying to figure out where to look. And so I decide I'm just going to bide my time here, right? See who pokes. So we have a little over 1,000 damage, so pretty slow start. We're down, or score's even, at 7-7. So there's the Progetto. Already fires again, misses. So over here, we have the WZ who's pulled all the way back near our artillery, and this is a kind of a silly play by the WZ. It would have been nice to keep him on that 5 line in the city, so that way he could spot as they come through. So right now, all we have on the western side of the map is the IKV-90 and the UDES 03, 2 TDs, and not necessarily bad ones, but we're not getting a lot of spotting over here. So the WZ comes up here. Right, moves pretty aggressively. So we have no visibility in the city. Artillery is exposed. And WZ's pushing up. We also see where the FE-4202 at full hit points sets a push over. And engage the Progetto. Right, so here we are. And I'm hoping that I get some shots. Obviously, they're going down the hill. WZ gets hit, he spots the Leo. So I want to engage. Right? So, Leo kills our WZ. I take a blind shot. And we're back into this position here. And I try to reacquire the Leo, which I cannot do, but I do spot the Challenger. So the Progetto's down. It costs the FV almost all of his hit points. The UDES is actually the one who picks him up. So I fire and I miss. FV goes down. So now it's 8-9. Right? Our artillery finally hits a Challenger. He's actually behind this building here. Right in there. So I'm pre-aiming at this position and trying to be patient. So what we see going on along the 1 line is IKV and UDES are still there. And we also have spotted the JP2, Jagdpanzer 2. Right now I'm focused on trying to smack this this Challenger. And apparently I'm not learning my lesson, so I've got him spotted. I'm getting spotting damage, which is fine. Artillery is shooting at him. I'm trying to thread the needle. You can see just a sliver of his tank. And I'm just firing a bit in frustration, if I'm being honest with you. So he moves. I'm making a misplay here. But we finally punish him for his stupidity, as they say. And so I'm backing off now. UDES picks up the kill. Because we're spotted, so we don't want to get, obviously, hit. So, they still have their KV-4, who's on low health, but it's not been spotted in quite some time. The Jagdpanzer 2, it's a very dangerous gun on that thing. Both Arties, T-29, and the Leo. Right, so that's what we're looking at on the enemy team. And we have our UDES, who's on low health, ourselves in full health, both of our Arties, and the IKV. Now you can see they just killed our UDES 03. Jagdpanzer 2 picks up our IKV-90. So the entire northwestern side of the map is completely exposed. So I decide that I'm going to push through city and kind of come around up through here, across the bridge, and try to kind of come in behind, because I can't see, we don't really have any spotting, I can't really see where the KV-4 is, certainly the Jagdpanzer 2. So I decided to roll across here. Knowing it's going to take some time, that does leave our artillery kind of exposed. The UDES and the Crusader are set up, once again, along the eastern shore. And the UDES, as you can see, is up on the hill, so hopefully able to provide some decent cover for us. So we spot the KV-4, which is very nice. Unfortunately, he kills our arty. I'm sorry, their artillery, their Crusader, picks up our arty. So I position myself, thinking he's going to push. Well, you can see where I'm aiming, right here. JP2 comes across, very good. So I decided to push up. The KV-4 did not cross right there. I'm curious as to where he's at. So the JP2 is pushing across the water to the eastern side. And right now I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to push up and be too aggressive and get caught in the crossfire, but then I realize our Udez goes down, the Leo picked him up without being spotted. So now we're in trouble, right? We have 2 to 4, I'm sorry, 2 to 5, 2 to 6. And one of the tanks is in the cap circle. So at this point I'm thinking, this is definitely the KV-4. I thought he was actually going to be behind that house, and he was not, right? So there already picks up ours, now it's 1 versus 6. Like I said, guys, this one's a bit of a nail-biter. So I come around, pick up the kill on the KV-4, very good. We get spotted, obviously, so I pull back, knowing their artillery is going to be aiming for us. There's the first arty. Clicker's going to click, right? So I know I need to relocate, get unspotted, and set back up. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was sweating and shaking a little bit. This is pretty nerve-wracking. So the good news is we have plenty of ammunition. We have 5 enemy tanks, all on fairly low hit points, or artillery with very few hit points to begin with. And we have all of our health. So, stressful situation, especially because I'm not, you know, an amazing player. But I have a high level of confidence here, right? So this is what you guys come here for. So, I make my end around, realize someone else is back at the cap circle, I better get on back. And in my opinion, this is a misplay by the enemy team. I think what I would have done is been patient, wait for me to go to the cap circle, to put pressure on them, that way they would have known where I was. With this person going to the cap circle, I now know where they are. So it's a bit of a calculated risk. The thing that's risky for me is that, yes, we know someone's in the cap circle, but their arty's going to be pre-aimed there, and there's at least 2 other tanks out there. Oh, there's the Leo. He found us before we spotted him, because the spotting mechanics are perfect in this game. So come around, try to avoid getting arty'd. And the Leo's a 2-shot for us. So we get smacked for 151 by the arty. Come around, he bounces off me, and that's why sloped armor comes in handy. Then I realized, yep, there's the JP2. But the reload is excellent, and I'm just trying to push my way into cover so we don't get shot. There's a gun on the JP2. I'm gonna make a mistake here. I'm actually hanging myself out. Already hits us again. And we lose our driver. We're down to 14 hit points. So the JP2's gun is amazing. The reload's really long. So he pushes. Makes a critical mistake there, right? Once again, non-turreted tank destroyer. He knew I had the angle on him. And he came around and tried to pivot to fire on me. Very good gun, but the thing is, he was a 1-shot for me. So we take him out. And now we're down to a 3 versus 1. 1 versus 3. Once again, I know I need to relocate. So make like I'm going to head up through these houses. There's the arty. We're no longer spotted. Alright, so at this point, I'm definitely nervous, but now I'm focused, right? Now we know we can win this. The problem is, I have not seen, or so far, we're now down to 14 hit points. The driver's dead, so a lot of our mobility is gone right now. The medical kit is on cooldown, and now I don't really have enough time to get to their base and begin capping before the time runs out. So we gotta kill everybody. And we have not seen anything from the T-29, which is a problem. I'm not super worried about arty. I'm more worried about that T-29. That ends up being a bit of an issue for me later on. So I'm pushing across, kind of thinking like, okay, I'm going to push towards their flag and see what I can spot. And then we pick up their arty, but they also spot us. Somebody spots us. So I come around. And we get Schwack by the already, who's sitting over here, probably back along the K3 line right there. So, anyway, thus ends our amazing game with already getting the win. So I really thought that we were going to be able to win this game, but it wasn't to be. So, but no regrets. We did finish up with 2,800 damage, over 3K combined, 300 blocked. Not bad, and with 4 kills there. So, at any rate, an interesting game, a bit of a nail biter, but it did end in heartbreak. So anyway, I hope that was enjoyable. Hope you guys learned a little something from a very mediocre player. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button. You guys know the deal. It's nothing new there. And I really appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Buff Games. All right, have a good one, guys.